Maximilien François-Marie Isidore de Robespierre, born on May 6, 1758, in Arras, France, was one of the most influential figures of the French Revolution. His name is synonymous with the Reign of Terror, a period characterized by radical political upheaval, mass executions, and revolutionary fervor. However, Robespierre's life and contributions extend far beyond this brief period. A trained lawyer, skilled orator, and leader of the Jacobins, Robespierre played a pivotal role in shaping the course of the Revolution and the new Republic of France. His ideological commitment to the principles of equality, justice, and virtue would ultimately lead him to the guillotine, marking a tragic end to a life devoted to revolutionary ideals. Early life and education. Robespierre was born into a relatively affluent family. His father, François de Robespierre, was a lawyer, while his mother, Jacqueline Marguerite Carreau, came from a well-established family. Unfortunately, his childhood was marred by tragedy, as his mother passed away when he was only 6 years old. This loss, coupled with his father's departure soon after, left Maximilien and his siblings to be raised by their maternal grandparents. Despite these early hardships, Robespierre excelled academically, displaying intellectual promise from a young age. In 1769, Robespierre earned a scholarship to the prestigious Lycée Louis-le-Grand in Paris, where he studied law. At Louis-le-Grand, he was exposed to the writings of the Enlightenment philosophers, including Jean-Jacques Rousseau, whose ideas about the general will and popular sovereignty would profoundly shape his political beliefs. Rousseau's concept of virtue as the foundation of a just society resonated deeply with Robespierre, who would later invoke these ideas as he navigated the tumultuous landscape of revolutionary France. Legal career and early political involvement. Robespierre returned to Arras in 1781 to begin his legal career. Known for his meticulous attention to detail and impassioned defense of the poor and disenfranchised, he earned a reputation as a champion of justice. His legal career, however, was short-lived, as the burgeoning political crisis in France soon captured his attention. By the late 1780s, France was on the brink of revolution. The economic strain caused by years of war, an inefficient tax system that disproportionately burdened the poor, and widespread discontent with the monarchy's lavish spending created a volatile atmosphere. In 1789, King Louis XVI, facing immense pressure, convened the Estates General, a legislative assembly representing the three social classes, the clergy, the nobility, and the commoners. Robespierre quickly distinguished himself as a voice for the people, advocating for democratic reforms, universal male suffrage, and the abolition of privilege. His speeches, marked by a fervent commitment to justice and equality, earned him the nickname, the Incorruptible. Robespierre was a man of principle, deeply committed to the Enlightenment ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity. The French Revolution rise to power. The French Revolution erupted in 1789 with the storming of the Bastille, signaling the collapse of the ancient regime. Over the next few years, Robespierre's influence grew as the revolution became increasingly radical. In 1790, he joined the Jacobin Club, a revolutionary political organization that would become one of the most powerful forces in French politics. As a leading member, Robespierre advocated for sweeping social and political reforms, including the end of the monarchy and the establishment of a republic. The years 1792 and 1793 were marked by significant upheaval. The monarchy was abolished, and King Louis XVI was executed in January 1793. As France descended into war with foreign monarchies and faced internal threats from royalists and counter-revolutionaries, the revolution entered its most dangerous phase, the Reign of Terror. In 1793, France was in chaos. The country was at war with much of Europe, the economy was collapsing, and internal rebellion threatened to tear the young republic apart. In response, the revolutionary government formed the Committee of Public Safety, a body tasked with defending the revolution from both external and internal threats. Robespierre, who had been elected to the committee, quickly became its most powerful member. To Robespierre, the survival of the revolution depended on the strict enforcement of revolutionary ideals, and he believed that terror was a necessary tool to achieve this goal. Terror, he declared, is nothing other than justice, prompt, severe, inflexible. Under his leadership, the Committee of Public Safety oversaw the mass execution of perceived enemies of the revolution. Thousands of people, including many who had once been allies of Robespierre, were sent to the guillotine during this period. The Reign of Terror, which lasted from September 1793 to July 1794, was one of the bloodiest chapters in French history. Robespierre's commitment to virtue and justice, paradoxically, led him to justify the use of extreme violence to root out corruption and protect the revolution. He believed that only through the elimination of counter-revolutionaries could a truly just society be achieved. Ideology and vision. Robespierre was a staunch defender of the concept of virtue, which he believed should be the guiding principle of both government and society. Inspired by Rousseau, he argued that a republic could only survive if its citizens were virtuous and devoted to the common good. He opposed materialism, luxury, and corruption, which he saw as the root causes of inequality and social decay. Robespierre's vision of a virtuous republic extended to economic and social policies. He supported measures that would redistribute wealth and ensure that all citizens, particularly the poor, had access to basic necessities. This included advocating for price controls on essential goods, such as bread, and supporting welfare programs to aid the indigent. He also held a strong belief in the role of education in creating a virtuous citizenry. He argued for universal education, believing that ignorance was one of the main obstacles to achieving true equality and democracy. Fall from power and death. Despite his initial popularity, Robespierre's unyielding commitment to his ideals and the continued executions during the Reign of Terror alienated many of his former allies. By mid-1794, even members of the Committee of Public Safety began to fear that Robespierre's growing power posed a threat to their own survival. His insistence on purging perceived enemies from both within and outside the revolutionary government created a climate of paranoia and mistrust. On July 27, 1794, Robespierre was arrested by the National Convention, the legislative body he had once dominated. The following day, he was executed by guillotine, marking the end of the Reign of Terror. His death brought an abrupt halt to the mass executions and ushered in a more moderate phase of the revolution. Legacy. Maximilien Robespierre remains one of the most controversial figures in French history. To his supporters, he was a hero who fought tirelessly for the principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity. To his detractors, he was a tyrant who unleashed a reign of terror that claimed the lives of thousands. His role in the French Revolution, particularly during the Reign of Terror, has been the subject of intense debate among historians. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel